Welcome to Terrific Talk. I'm Tom Anderson. Thank you for checking out the podcast. We are back. It is a beautiful day here from the Hoboken Studios in New Jersey. 70 degrees and sunny. I just went for a run. I'm feeling good. And now we're going to call Steve. We got so much to catch up on. The baseball season has started. The NBA playoffs are here. The Masters are coming. It is the best time of year to be a sports fan. Oh, and Game of Thrones is coming back. Forget sports. Thrones is back this Sunday. Steve and I got a lot to catch up on here, so let me call him. Here we go. Let's see what he's up to.
Mr. Terrific.
Steve.
How do you feel, man?
Welcome back, dude. I got a lot of feelings. First off, how does it feel that we are fans of two of the best teams in baseball?
Hey, man.
The rivalry's back.
It's back. It's been fun. I will say that I definitely plan to catch some games on the West Coast here when we have a swing to San Diego and for sure a swing to LA. I actually don't even know if we play in Anaheim this year. I didn't look that up, but there's something about just having fun, dynamic players that elicit just this mentality about baseball that's fun.
And you're right, DeGrom does that. You're totally right.
Dude, he is a savage, by the way.
He's the best pitcher maybe of all time. What is he doing right now? He is literally unstoppable. It's insane.
And then he's just hitting dingers.
Yeah, he's hitting bombs. I mean, it was a historic season last year. It's like there's no way he can do this again. He's better this year. What a start. Could not be better.
It's been very impressive.
Bryce Harper's okay too, I guess. He's all right.
Bryce has gotten off to a strong start. I mean, I know he was 0 for with 2 strikeouts on first day of baseball, but then he made sure to let everyone know that he is out for a reckoning with just an absolute mammoth 468 whatever foot homer.
Bomb.
Followed it up the next day with another bomb. Then he just ripped the hearts out of every single Washington Nationals fan.
That was kind of good to see. I didn't hate that. That was nice.
Oh, dude, was that just amazing or what?
The bat flip and everything, just F you. It was pretty good.
Total F you move. So I cannot. The summertime with baseball, meaningful baseball, it's going to be amazing.
It's amazing, and our friendship is really getting, tested here because
tested, dude, big time.
Mets Phillies is back, and right now, looking at these NBA standings, Nets Sixers.
I'm giving you a round of applause.
Thank you.
Because the Nets, they got to a point where you were seeing a ghost, right? Like
it was dicey.
You were sweating. You went like radio silence there, and I was like, he doesn't even want to hear from me. He doesn't want any banter because it could have gotten ugly.
It was getting ugly because just Adam Silver just doing a terrible job with the scheduling this season. The Nets' schedule to end this season is just absurd.
Absurd.
7-game road trip. Then you've got to go play the Bucks, the Raptors, the Bucks again, the Pacers, and then the Heat. Basically all playoff teams after a 7-game road trip who they played everybody. It's unbelievable they're here. But the Nets have found a way. They're back in the playoffs, first time in 4 years. Kenny Atkinson, congratulations. D'Lo leading the way. It feels nice. Like it's going to be – I actually get to watch a meaningful NBA basketball game for the first time literally in 4 years. It's nice.
Yeah. So the friendship is tested because, if people don't know, Sixers have the 3rd seed locked up, and the Nets are currently sitting in the 6th seed. So as those first round matchups go, 3-6 play each other. Now, me and Tom back early in the NBA season said we got to go to the first round.
We talked about this early,
early, real early. Like I'm saying,
like Jimmy Butler early.
2 weeks, yeah, it couldn't have been like a month into the season for sure.
First round, dude. I hope your bags are packed because I just hope the seeding holds. I really do.
I know.
We got a good shot.
You have a big matchup against the Heat, and the Heat are fighting tooth and nail for that 8th spot. So you know that they're not going to come in lame.
So we basically need a Magic loss.
Yes, right.
Yeah, the Heat
need a Magic loss pretty much guarantees it for you guys.
Yeah, we have an automatic 7 seed no matter what. We could lose and we're still 7. So we're basically tied with the Magic. And the Magic, they're playing the Hornets.
Oh my God! See that? I knew that game's on Wednesday night on ESPN, right?
It's got to be. Playoff implication is there, big time.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. I remember seeing that. So, holy smokes! Yeah, this will be fun. It's fun to have like games that matter and to be invested this late and have an investment. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, the Sixers last year had a good turnaround season, but the prior years it was just kind of an embarrassment. You talked about the woes of the Nets over the last few years, but
we're back.
We're back, man. And it's something about, again, I know I mentioned this with Bryce Harper when he signed with the Phillies. There's something about having star power. There's something about having excitement around franchises in big East Coast cities because the fan bases are diehard, they're rowdy, they're passionate, they're all in. So it is good to see that, you know, you've got Philly, Boston, New York with Brooklyn represented all in the playoffs for the Eastern Conference. And hopefully we have some fun matchups here.
I can't wait. And quick shout out to the Pistons, who I honestly feel bad for any Pistons fans who possibly listen to this podcast because they kind of had it and they've just blown it here at the end because Blake Griffin got hurt and his knee's been banged up. And now Blake started trying to come back and play through the knee pain. So, they've just really fallen off. They had the 6th seed, like, locked up. But,
yes.
Sorry, Pistons fans.
I thought that it was going to be a Sixers-Pistons matchup, which I wasn't hating because I know that Blake's kind of put on some strong performances against us this year. However, one man isn't going to take down our four.
Have you been having nightmares of Spencer Dinwiddie?
Dude, Spencer, like, ugh.
He's coming.
I know.
Who's going to guard Spencer?
He plays like Steph Curry when he plays against the Sixers. It's incredible.
I think I know who's coming out of the East. I'm feeling pretty good about it. You want to know who?
Go ahead.
I'm going with the Raptors out of the Eastern Conference.
I was going to say, I knew you were going Raptors.
I feel very good. This team is just so deep, so loaded. They finally don't have to depend on Kyle Lowry being stupid in the playoffs. Siakam's really good.
I was just going to talk about Siakam. He's the one that scares me. I've watched. We've played them a couple times, and we never actually have played them very well, except for when Kawhi sits out. But I've watched a few of their games here over the last, let's say, 6 weeks because they're always on prime time if games are being televised. And he can shoot the ball well. He's athletic as hell. He can guard any position. He's kind of a matchup nightmare. Obviously, Kawhi is a matchup nightmare as well because he's just so big, physical, long. But Siakam is kind of I think he's obviously gaining notoriety this year, but he's kind of their unsung hero in my opinion. He's
amazing. He hits all these threes. He gets to the basket. A lot of high energy. I really like him. I just like the way that they're playing right now. I think this has been like a long time coming for the Raps, and I think they're finally ready to put it together. And I like their track better because I feel like Boston's kind of looming out there, and Milwaukee's going to have to run into them in the second round probably.
Yeah, for sure. I'll stick with, now this burned us in our brackets, but I'll stick with the fact that I got to see it to believe it because, and now it's a different Toronto makeup, I know that. But they've been the 1 seed before. They've been hot going into the playoffs, and then they bounce out in the first round.
Fair.
I don't see them bouncing out to the Magic. That would have to take something otherworldly out of Orlando to make that happen. But how about the Magic, man? We bashed them hard in the over-under picks because they were the team, I think, that had spent 3 of the last 5 years in the bottom 5 in the NBA.
Dumpster fire.
They were a dumpster fire. And you know what? I'm going to give them a round of applause. 41-40 so far. It could be in the 6th seed. I guess it depends. Wednesday night will be fun. You
will hear no love for me for the Orlando Magic on this podcast. That's not happening. Evan Fournier needs to relax, like big time. Settle down.
But but back to the Raptors. I think I got to see it from them first before crowning them all the way through. I have to stick with the home team. I picked them in the over-unders to go to the final, so I'm going to stick with the Sixers. I think they've had the ability here to rest up Jimmy and Joel the last few games, so I think they're going to be going into the playoffs healthy. Now, like last year, Joel obviously had missed X amount of games, and they were riding this crazy 18-game winning streak.
Yep.
But Joel was fresh because he was hurt. Here, at least, like, he's fresh, he's healthy, he's feeling good. I think I just don't know if anybody in the East can stop Joel single-handedly. Boston obviously gives him fits. However, I agree with you that Boston is going to have to run into the Bucks more than likely in the second round, and I don't like their chances there.
Yeah, I'll give Joel some love. He is phenomenal right now. Like, he's just dominating games like we haven't seen in a long time. And I think it's going to continue into the playoffs. I mean, I'm scared to death of him against the Nets. I think he's going to beat up on all these teams. He's just going to dominate. He's going to be their MVP. And he could carry them to the promised land. The one thing I'm concerned about them, their offense is ridiculous. Like, they're so stacked. They're phenomenal. The defense, like, they can't stop anybody. I feel like anytime I watch them, everybody's just scoring at will.
Yeah, it's one of those things that has driven me a little bit crazy about them this year. It always seems that, you know, we get up to a big lead and then we just blow it and it ends up being a nail biter, or we give up a lead and we're down 15 the whole game, and, you know, we maybe cut it close at the end, maybe steal it, maybe take the L, but, like, it just seems we are very inconsistent on that defensive end. One person that we definitely rely on heavily there is Jimmy Butler, and these games where we've had to hold off a team or make this crazy late stage comeback, he's just gone beast mode in the fourth quarter.
He needs to.
And I think as he goes, we will go.
Agree.
For sure from that aspect. But I think that we need to keep a tighter rotation. I know that Brett Brown, it's regular season, you can play with a variety of things. You know, I don't think that there should ever be an instance where at least three of those guys aren't on the floor.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
The whole time. I know.
Yeah, and throw JJ in there for the starting five, right? So, I mean, I think there's got to be at least three of those five on the court at all times. Because, you know, at this point now, win or go home, you know? So, do or die.
So I saw the Bucks up close. I got to see Giannis in person.
Yes, dude. You had some good. I think did you have some good Insta?
Oh yeah.
Or Insta vids that maybe Aaron would have showed me.
100%.
You also sent maybe a photo to me and Solly about that.
It was really fun and super interesting watching him play basketball.
Yeah.
Everything is in the middle of the paint. It's just incredible. He just drives right down the middle of the paint. Everything from there, and he literally just wedges himself in between three guys, and he gets a layup, a dunk, or he gets fouled every single time. And you know what he's doing.
Is he passing out in those circumstances, or once he has it there, he just has one thing on his mind?
Once he has it there, he's pretty much just going to the rack. Yeah. They play him at the top of the key, so he's kind of like the Draymond position where he's swinging passes around from up there.
Sure.
But once he gets down low, it's just he's going to dinner. So I came away really impressed with him, and also like weird. Like, this is like a really weird style of basketball. It was really strange. He really is like a center. He's like a big man, but he plays like a guard. It's really weird. But they've done a really nice job putting all those shooters around him. I just don't know if they're going to be able to go on a super long run. I think they're going to go on a pretty good run here. Probably, I mean, I could see them getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. But, you know, when it comes to crunch time, I still don't completely trust, like, Eric Bledsoe and my boy Brook Lopez. You know, Brogdon, we'll see if he's back in time.
Yeah, I know that Brook Lopez can step back and hit the three, but if that's really what, you know, like, let's say the Sixers match up with them and it's Giannis in the paint or Brook Lopez launching threes, I will take Brook Lopez launching threes all day.
100%. And when they're on, they're like impossible to beat, but things get tighter in the playoffs. But Giannis is just going to tear it up. Like that, we watched in that Bucks Sixers game. That was incredible. But Giannis was scoring every single time. It was just Giannis and Embiid back and forth all day.
Clash of the Titans.
A lot of fun to watch. So, yeah, I like Toronto right now to the East, but we'll see. And,
I mean, is anybody stopping Golden State in the West? I mean, I know it seems like they've just not really cared at all about the regular season this year, more so than in years past, and they still have 56 wins.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not picking against them. I like the Warriors a lot. The Western Conference is kind of interesting, the seedings. They could all kind of jump and change around a little bit, but, you know, it seems like the team that everyone thinks would have the second best chance, again, is Houston. Everyone's all on Houston again. And the way the playoffs would go right now, they've got a super tough path. They'd have to play the Thunder in the first round, which I don't think you want to do. And then, you got to go beat – you got to go beat Denver in Denver just to get to Golden State. I think that's a tough path for Houston. So I think the Warriors are going to coast again here.
Yeah. And I don't think – obviously Houston had them on the ropes last year. I don't think that the Warriors will allow Houston to do what they did last year again.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And I mean, I know again during the regular season, Harden hit that big three to beat them in overtime, and they've had some epic battles. And I think Houston probably holds the season series outright. But I think when push comes to shove, when your back's against the wall, when it's win or go home, and you got to try to beat this team 4 times in a week or 10 days. I don't see them being able to pull that out.
Right now. It's just Curry and Durant at the peak of their powers. Come playoff time, Curry's just going to carry them 3 quarters. 4th quarter comes, KD time. Good night. It's just impossible to beat them 4 times in a series. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't love the competition. So I'm thinking Golden State, Toronto right now.
And I think that did you say that in the?
I did. I've been on the Raptors
Toronto
for a while.
Celtics? Well, yeah, I feel like you did say Toronto from the jump. So, we're sticking true with what we felt back in November. So we'll see what happens. Are you going to watch tonight?
I don't know. Maybe I'll put it on, but I really could care less who wins that game. I just don't.
Yeah.
And I've kind of felt like that for most of this tournament. The only reason I was really watching was for my bracket. And when things got crazy, I just lost interest. And I think that tells you kind of what college basketball is right now. A lot of these guys are all they're all one and dones or people you've never heard of. And it's just who am I rooting for?
I'm happy that you mentioned that because I feel like after Duke lost that game, there was a headline in something in regards to the fact that Krzyzewski may consider changing his recruiting approach. Now, I don't know if you're Mike Krzyzewski at Duke and Zion Williamson says, I want to go to your school, I'm only going to play a year.
Right. He can't. It's just the way things are now.
He's got to take them. But it is interesting to think that with how the system is set right now, you may be better served to just pass on the number 1 option and maybe try to get the number 20, 21, 22, and 23 that are going to hang around for 3 or 4 years that just builds a stronger rapport and a stronger family unity, if you will. And again, to your point, that'll at least have people be invested in college basketball. As much as a Tyler Hansborough, people ragged on him, everybody knew him because he played at least through his junior year.
Yeah, it helps, and it just makes it more fun for the more casual fan, I guess. But I don't know. I feel like that's it's an interesting argument. It's when we remember when we sucked in the Olympics that one year, we lost to Argentina and everything, and we were oh, maybe you know what, we don't want these NBA All Stars who never play together to play. Maybe we should go back to college guys playing and they can play as a team and kind of win that way. And then we just sent our best players and just started. We never lost again.
Yeah, and then we said, no, we're just going to send the all universe team and just destroy everyone.
Exactly. I think it. Duke, I think honestly would have been fine. If they just thought about the chemistry a little bit more in terms of what if you get this guy like Zion and RJ Barrett for that matter, what players around them make more sense? And they just had no shooters. It was just a bad job putting the team together.
There were a couple of instances. Now, I mean, they survived that game against UCF.
That was lucky.
But there were a couple of instances where I'm talking wide open looks from 3. I feel like I could be oh man, there's no one within 20 feet of me. I got all day here, money, and they would come up short. I'm like, what in the this is the best college basketball team in the country, and this is what you're bringing out?
Crazy. And a lot of those guys were missing foul shots, too. It was come on, guys. This is the number 1 team.
The foul shot, the lack of the ability to shoot the free throw in this tournament has just been
mind-boggling.
It's mind-boggling this year. Now I will say to Kyle Guy to step up and hit all three of those free throws.
Clutch.
He put his big boy pants on that day.
Yeah, I thought that same thing too. I was like, oh, we got fouled. He's still got to hit 3 of these, at least 2, and he just swished all of them. That was super impressive.
Yeah. So, to the point of a team that's got seniors, has good chemistry. I mean, UVA, those guys have been playing together now a couple years.
Yep.
And I'm sure some of them could have potentially left last year. Like, who's the big guy? What's his name? The dude with the dude with that has his like bleached blonde hair. Why am I blanking on his name? Like Diakom or I forget. I can't
Cisco?
think of it. Oh, yeah, this guy. What's his name?
Cisco.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Cisco. I love it. Like he's long and athletic, and he definitely probably could have gone to the NBA last year.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Enough college basketball talk.
So who do you think? What do you think? Red Raiders, or do you think?
I think Virginia is just like a team of destiny right now. They're just going to win.
Okay.
Just,
You're going the team of destiny.
I'm not rooting for them. I'm rooting against them, but I think they're going to win.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. Karma's gonna come back and get him, and I think I'm gonna just have to roll with Texas Tech. We took them to the final. We took them to the Final Four. I'm gonna stick with them.
There you go. We saw it coming. All right, Steve. I want to take a quick break here to talk about Robinhood. Robinhood's an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission free. While other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees, so you can trade stocks and keep all your profits. Cha-ching. Plus, there's no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. You get to view easy-to-understand charts and market data, place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. You can also view stock collections such as 100 most popular. With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio. Discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss the right moment to invest. Today, Robinhood's giving listeners of Terrific Talk a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Just sign up at terrific.robinhood.com. The tradition, unlike any other, is about to begin.
Oh, dude. Another
Who you got?
Amazing thing about summer that I just there's something about just watching golf tournaments on Sundays.
It's the best.
Just, you can't beat it.
It's just a good time.
I mean, so what are we doing here? Who do I got? Is it a Tiger versus the field type thing, DJ versus the field, or do you want just?
I'll give you some of the odds leaders right now.
Yeah, here we go.
So Rory is the favorite at 7-1. He's been playing some good golf lately.
He hasn't been playing some good golf, but guess what happened to him last time he played?
Choke City.
Tiger just absolutely eviscerated him in that match play. Let's go.
Dustin Johnson 9-1. Always interesting.
Yeah, he's got the power now. I mean, this course, you need to. Power's nice,
you need to
but
putt.
You need to be able to putt, but you need to have kind of creativity.
Yep.
In your game. You need to be great with your short game, and I'm not saying he's not, but okay, I hear that. I see that 9-1.
The always dangerous Justin Rose.
Yeah.
12-1.
Yeah, he's tough.
Tiger
Woods. He's unflappable too. A lot of times.
He's when you're rooting against him, it's scary.
He's a
tough.
stone cold killer. Yeah,
1,000%. Tiger Woods 14-1.
God, I freaking love Tiger. If Tiger wins on Sunday, that would be like the greatest.
It'd be the greatest thing ever.
Golf will be back. Like with, and not to say he hasn't kind of gotten golf back into people's purview, but God, there will be a lot of red shirts purchased if he wins Sunday.
Oh, can you imagine? It'd be so good. The Spaniard, your boy John Rahm, 16-1, big hitter.
He's a big hitter. He can play well.
Justin Thomas, 18-1.
Okay.
Jordan Spieth, 20-1.
Okay.
Always plays the Masters pretty well.
Yeah, he's got the game for it.
Guy who also usually plays the Masters pretty well, but just does not know how to get it done completely here. Ricky Fowler. Also 20-1. Ricky's got to win one of these years.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Ricky's like the University of Virginia. Mm-hmm. Like they got all the tools. They could get there, but can they get it done? I don't know.
He's always in the consideration, but it just something always kind of unravels.
Brooks Koepka, 22-1.
Wow, yeah, the couple-time major winner last year.
Molinari, 22-1. Tommy Fleetwood, 25-1. I know you like Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy's tough.
Long hair, don't care.
Long hair, don't care. Party in the back for sure.
Couple more names here, real quick. Jason Day, 25-1. Remember him?
Okay. Yeah, he's been a little quiet here the last 18 months.
Bubba Watson, former Masters winner, 33-1.
Big hitter.
Hideki Matsuyama, still waiting on that major, 33-1.
Phil, lefty in the mix here at all, or what?
40-1, Phil Mickelson.
Oof.
Do you believe? College admission scandal, fresh off, wins the Masters.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, that would be a story unlike any other.
That would be impressive. Another guy, 40-1, Patrick Reed. He's done it before.
Okay. Yeah, and he's kind of got to redeem himself here off of that just abysmal Ryder Cup performance last year.
Who are you rolling with?
How excited were we for that Ryder Cup? And then Patrick Reed just no-showed.
I know. I was really surprised because he's a gamer.
He's a gamer.
He's shown up in the Ryder Cup before and gone right at Rory, and he lost it. It happens.
Yeah, it happens. I'm torn. I mean, like, my heart wants to say Tiger for sure. But I know that, John Rahm has been playing insane golf, as has Francisco Molinari. I don't know if one of the foreigners are going to come over and get it done. Man, this is tough. This is a tough one.
No love for Rory.
Nah, he's all right.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm not going to roll with Rory as the 7-1 favorite. I would be more inclined to go like a Rahm or Molinari over Rory, but part of me is like kind of, I don't know, part of me is thinking that Mr. UA, Jay Spieth, he may come in with a little spring in his step.
What's been going on with him? Like, where is he? Why haven't we been hearing about Jordan Spieth in like the last year?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. I think he's just been very inconsistent. I know that his putter was just in a bad way, probably latter half of last year, and he's normally very strong with the putter, so it was probably something that was playing some mental games with him. But he's a guy that I think when it matters most, he's always ready to rock and roll. You know what I mean? It's just something about the stakes being at their highest. He plays strong golf. And the other thing with him that I've noticed, he plays it with kind of almost like a boyhood, childlike fun to it, if that makes any sense.
He does, and he's got the imagination out there. He knows all the shots.
I would like to see a Jordan Spieth Tiger Woods final pairing.
Ooh.
I don't think that would happen, but
I would tune in for that.
That would be an interesting circumstance to see what Jordan would do with, because I think they've been paired together before and it hasn't gone well for Jordan. I mean, that's just the Tiger effect, right?
A little intimidating, yeah.
Who do you think?
So I'm looking at three guys.
Okay.
I'm not going to say Rory, but I respect Rory. I think he'll be in the conversation. I don't think he's going to choke. He's playing some good golf right now. He knows how to play the Masters. I'm looking at Justin Thomas a little bit.
Yeah, I respect that call, man.
He's kind of like waiting in the shadows a little bit to kind of just go on a big major run, and I could see him getting his first Masters. I would not be shocked if he played well. I'll give some love to Ricky Fowler. He finishes in like the top 5 here at the Masters like every single year. He's going to be in the mix. Whether he can finish or not, I think he's still going to be in the mix. And then Tommy Fleetwood. Sneaky.
Tommy. Long hair, don't care.
I like Tommy Fleetwood. I like his creativity. I like his confidence. He doesn't really shrink in the big moment. I could see Tommy Fleetwood being in the mix as well. So I like those three. Obviously rooting for Tiger. Come on, Tiger.
Let's go, Tiger. Come on, man. Do it for all of us.
Just be in the hunt. You don't need to win. Just be in it.
Be in the hunt. We want to see you smelling blood on the back 9 of 18.
It'd be so good.
There's like my phone would just be exploding if Tiger was in the hunt on the back nine of 18.
My
just
God.
nonstop.
So I want you to think about this Sunday. Masters Sunday.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
No, dude, I can't even.
Oh my God.
Here's the kicker, right? I go to Boston on Thursday, as I told you, because it's, not only is it the Masters Sunday, not only do we have NBA playoffs about to start, NCAA.
We might have Nets Sixers on that Sunday too.
Nets Sixers. We've got the granddaddy of them all from a distance running perspective. We've got the Boston Marathon on Monday. So
yes.
I got to give a shout out. I've mentioned before, many if you know me or have listened, I ran college, so I'm a big running nerd, and the Boston Marathon is that just kind of mecca, golden mecca for anybody that runs marathons. It's a race where you can only qualify with time unless you raise money for charity. So you can't just sign up and just do it. You have to hit pretty strict, rigid time standards to qualify. So there'll be about 40,000+ people.
Wow. What's that crowd and experience like for
it's
runners?
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I've never run it because I was, it's in hindsight, should have run a marathon at some point. I'm not saying I won't in my life, but I just haven't completed one up to this point. But I've gone and spectated that race several times. And I mean, you're talking, the times I've spectated, I've been about 200 yards from the finish, and we're talking 10, 12, 15 people deep, just going crazy, just for anybody. It's not even, obviously people have rooting interest, but the place it's just a celebration of the sport, and I think it's gotten even stronger since the bombings occurred a few years back. Mm-hmm. Everybody's kind of walking around the streets with a Boston Strong shirt, and they do ceremonies honoring the 4 people that were killed that day a few years back. But the race in general is great, and it's kind of like the crowning achievement for a lot of people who have, because not only are you training for this marathon, but you would have had to have trained for at least one, in most instances, several marathons just to get there. Because, for instance, our age, you have to be running under a 3-hour marathon just to make it to the starting line. Mm-hmm. So sub 3-hour marathon is 6:50 pace or faster, somewhere right thereabouts for 26.2 miles, which just is not. I mean, you can't just
it's legit, yeah.
Roll out of bed and think oh yeah, here we go. I'm just going to go out for a nice 26.2 mile stroll at 6:50 pace.
Casual,
just casual. For most people, so just the hard work and the dedication and discipline that's put into just getting there that's commendable in and of itself. And then by the way, here's another 26.2 miles.
Yeah.
So and the course is not it's not forgiving. It's obviously all on asphalt, concrete, road, so that beats your legs up. But it's a point-to-point course, so you start out obviously 26.2 miles from the finish line, and you come kind of through the western suburbs of Boston into the city and finish on Boylston Street. But the first 16 or so miles, you're basically running downhill, and people think oh, it's great. I don't have to try. I can just roll. Gravity will take me, but it just beats the heck out of your legs. Right. So then you get to mile 19, and you have to climb 3 miles worth of hills. They call them the Newton Hills, and at that point, your legs are toast. So it's just a grueling test of will. So you get people. I've seen it the last several years. You get people 200 meters from the finish line, and they've run marathons before, and their fellow competitors are carrying them the last
so soft
because their legs are just thrashed. And I mean, the weather the last couple of years hasn't been ideal. Last year it was 35 degrees and torrential downpours. People literally dropped out because they had hypothermia.
Oh my God.
Yeah, terrible. I would never have wanted to be there. But it's a great race, a great event, a celebration of the sport. So it'll be fun to be there. So anybody running Boston, if you're listening, good luck.
Go see Steve.
Yeah, go check out features at the Boston Marathon Expo. We will be selling Boston Strong limited edition stocks for the event. So,
very nice.
See that? You got to get there early, though. They're going to be gone quick.
I bet they will. Yeah, that's exciting. We'll definitely be looking out for that. Always a special day in Boston, the Boston Marathon. I have a completely random question I have to ask you. This just reminded me.
Mm-hmm.
What do compression shorts and like those compression things do that like NBA players wear? Like, what's the point?
Yeah. So it depends on the. Here we go. It depends on the medical grade of compression that they're using.
Nice.
So I know, right? Here we go.
I love this.
Mr.
The doctor is about
PhD.
to. Yep,
yeah,
let's go.
Mr. Running PhD coming in here. So I think a lot of what they're wearing, those compression, those like 3/4 lengths that kind of go to the meat of the calf, they have padding situated like in the hips and on the knees, and like kind of, I guess, areas that are susceptible to, like, if you take a spill, like, bruise up pretty bad, leave you pretty sore. However, they could be wearing also medical grade compression, which there's a graduation effect that the idea is you want to, with compression, you always want to promote blood flow back to the heart. So a lot of runners wear these knee-high, I'll talk about these knee-high compression socks. So it's sock on the foot, and it goes all the way up above the calf to the knee. So what that portion on the calf is designed to do is to promote blood flow from that foot and lower leg area back to the heart, so that you're getting a better supply and circulation of oxygenated blood. So the compression levels are designed to be tightest at the ankle and then gradually lessen as you go up the leg, again, to promote that flow back. But the other thing, too, if they're stronger levels of compression, they will hold the muscle tighter and more efficiently to do a couple things. One, it decreases excessive muscle vibration, so you're actually not expending as much energy, because when you strike down, like, obviously it's a lot of force and your muscle will kind of be jarred from that, and that does give off like minimal amounts of energy. So if you can house the muscle a little bit better, it'll minimize the amount of vibrations you feel. Also, it just allows the muscle to operate more efficiently because of better blood flow, because it's kind of housed and encapsulated better, and because of that, it allows to prevent any post-competition, race, exercise, muscle soreness. Because, you know, like, let's say you're doing a 10-mile run and you're not wearing compression socks. You may get to, like, mile 6 and your calves are just kind of shot, your muscles done, and you're just, like, you have to kind of slog through another 4 miles and you're just destroying your muscle. Well, like, if you wear a compression sock, it may be that you get to, like, mile 8 before that happens, so you only have 2 miles of beating your muscle up versus 4. So it just helps alleviate any type of excessive soreness after the fact. Some people will say it's a placebo effect, but, I mean, I've worn compression socks a good bit, and I think they're pretty helpful with not only wearing them during activity to prevent these things I was talking about, but they're also great for recovery because, again, if you're talking getting better blood flow to the area, that helps with any soreness or anything like that after workouts or after long, strenuous efforts.
That's all cool and everything, but I think they look cool. I think that's it.
They have a cool look to them.
You know?
Well, especially if you're wearing, like, I feel like Steph does this, where he wears, like, a pretty high sock and has it, like, the compression pretty much, like, meeting with his legs, so it just looks like he has, like, a full bodysuit on.
I need to start doing this just for, like, casual jogs and stuff.
I have a couple of those. They're not, like, padded or anything like that, and they're definitely not compression. It's just, like, spandex type material that'll go down to the mid-calf. I love working out on them. They're great.
Send them out. Tori will like that.
Mm-hmm.
She'll like me in those, I think.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Show off that figure. show off that high school track athlete figure.
Dude, it's still here. It's still barely here, but it's still here. It's still in me.
It's like riding a bike, bro. It comes back.
Oh man, just turn the jets on. See ya. So before we go, I think we have some news that we need to share with the podcast audience.
Yeah, we might have some news to share with the podcast audience. Something
happened. What happened?
I don't really know. I blacked out. Legitimate? No, I didn't actually. No, I was kidding. That would be something else. Yeah, so I'm kind of annoyed because my goal was to deliver this on the pod. I've been like delaying this for a long time, like definitely weeks. But yeah, we're gonna have a new podcast listener here in about 3 months, my friend.
Yeah. Congratulations is in order.
We're gonna have a Cali baby. Never would have thought.
Yeah, right.
I would have had a child born on the West Coast, but here we go. And the due date is right around someone else's birthday.
George Steinbrenner?
Right near and dear to this podcast.
Mr. USA?
Oh, could be a little July 4th, baby.
Can we get another July 4th birthday, please?
Could you imagine? Fireworks galore, only for you two.
That would be incredible. They'll grow up their entire lives thinking the fireworks are for them.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Thanks, bro.
We are super happy. Another listener. Got to make sure that your baby clicks on the play button, so we get those clicks.
Yeah,
that's key.
We're gonna make an account like immediately. We'll make like just babyh@gmail.com.
Yeah,
and then we'll set up an iTunes account, and we'll make sure to get the clicks going.
All right. So, have you talked to Aaron yet about how to approach this with Instagram now? Don't do it to me. Do not do this to me.
Oh yeah, no, dude. I feel like I saw one recently. Oh no, it's been great recently, and I've like thought of you every time I've seen it. The Easter Bunny photos of the children just in utter disaster. they're just fearful for their lives. I mean, that Easter Bunny is creepy as hell. Not gonna lie.
That's amazing. Yeah.
But yeah,
it's out of control.
Dude, so think about this, right? It took us this long to post something, so the baby's due right around July 4th. We just posted something on Facebook, and I don't know if she put something on Instagram or not, on April Fool's Day. So we're already basically into the third trimester. So I don't know how we're going to be posting like, oh, happy first birthday when they're like 4.
Thank God. Thank God. Please do that.
We missed that milestone. But yeah, we'll have a new listener. I'll probably have plenty of time to just of not sleeping, so I'll research the end of the internet and be ready to talk about God knows what. No, I'm just kidding. It'll be fun. We're looking forward to it. I'm sure we'll have a bunch of visitors to the West Coast.
Crazy,
dude. Are you ready for primary season or what?
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. 2020, we're coming, baby. That's a whole nother podcast.
Whole nother can of worms.
So yeah, congratulations to you and Aaron. Super pumped for you guys. Super pumped for just this amazing round of sports we have coming up. Yeah, but we'll see if me and you survive this, honestly. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried. Are you?
Yeah, always. Yeah, always. I mean,
I could hate you. Like, this could be bad.
There's I don't take anything for granted. We worked a lot to get to the point.
We did.
To where we are now. I'm going to try to have it not be unraveled, but, there's no guarantees in life.
Let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets. Dude, so when is your first game that you're going to attend, or have you gotten out to City Field?
It's funny. I haven't gotten out to City yet. I'll be getting out there soon. I actually went to a Yankee game
wow.
A couple days ago with somebody. It was a good time. The Yankees lost. It was fun.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah. A lot of angry Yankees.
Real quick, I know like Yankees and Orioles are playing. How about the fact that Chris Davis is like 0 for his life this year?
Incredible. What happened?
100. Oh my God, 160-some million that he's making.
Yeah, that contract worked out.
Oh my Lord.
He hit all those home runs though that one time.
He did, and then it's funny how it's like one great season will get you, guaranteed $160-some million.
Yep. It's incredible.
There was one thing I was going to ask you about baseball, and now, no, it wasn't about baseball. I feel like there was another Instagram story that Aaron showed me of you were you at a game of the Nets? Did the Nets they didn't recently play the Warriors, right? Or did you share something about KD at the free throw line and someone screaming, "You'll be a Nick," or what was that about?
Yeah, it was I was a Nets Warriors game earlier this year, and I was like going through my photos. And you
reshared it. Okay.
And I reshared it. Yeah, it was this idiot guy. He's actually a Nets fan in the upper deck. And he was like, KD was at the line, and he's shouting, KD, you'll look great in a Nets jersey next year. And I just like looked at this dude like he doesn't, he doesn't hear you, right? What? He can't hear you. And if he did, I don't think he cares.
No, he doesn't.
It's great, but I don't want to trash any of my Nets fans because Nets fans are coming back strong. After what we witnessed last year with the Fly Eagles fly crap.
What do you think would happen right now? Do you think if the Sixers and Nets play in Barclays?
I told my dad this the other day. I told him the one team I want to play is you guys, but I'm also very scared how many Philly fans are going to be there. It's a problem.
Is there going to be a trust the process and a Fly Eagles fly chant again in Barclays a year later?
There will be, but the Spencer Dinwiddie chants will outroar them.
Dude, I hope that would be amazing. I hope it happens.
It's gonna happen.
It's one of those things. I feel like I've said to you the whole year that you guys play us so hard that it just like kind of makes me nervous to play you guys. But like now that we're here, like let's go.
Let's go. I'm telling you, we're going to the game next week. Like you're extending the Boston trip for a day, and we're going.
Oh man,
it's happening. You're going Tuesday.
Jeez, that would be amazing.
We'll take a look at tickets. Philly or Brooklyn, doesn't matter. I'll go wherever.
Yeah, I know. You ain't scared.
Never scared. All right, dude.
Man.
As always, Kobe.
Trust the process.
Go Mets.
Yeah.